Hi guys, I don't. Welcome to the live stream. TF Fans Club, only TF Fans Club. Why not? Today is a very special day, I think. I think it's a special day. We're gonna see that. Today absolutely not clue what happened up here. Didn't mean to click that. Too many stuff is getting popping on the screen. Hi Debjan, how you doing? Nice. So Debjan, how you doing, man? Ćevapi. Ja nie, bolje nego BTC. I'd like me some ćevapi right now. I'd like me some ćevap. Does this look bad to you guys? Does this look bad? I had to zoom in to make it look bad. I don't think it looks that bad. So we're gonna see how it looks. We'll see how it looks. Just a second, guys, just a second. Be right back. I'm actually here, I'm not actually anywhere. Still here, guys, still here. Just checking stuff out. There we go. Okay. Sasha, welcome. No, just pullback. Yeah, just pullback. We're gonna say just a pullback. Sasha, how you doing, man? How you doing? So we can remove the lines up here, of course. We can remove the lines. We can go zoom out a little bit, 4 hourly time frame. Why not? So as you can see here, we had this very nice line. You can see here we actually managed to get above the line, and you know the worst case scenario that could happen after breaking the line is getting right back below the line. That's what we did, and technically speaking, this is a rejection, right? So not much to do about that. Technically that's a rejection. By the way, guys, just a reminder, today there is a very interesting talk I want you to watch. Not this one. If you go to YouTube, and there is Richard, Hart, Peter, Schiff. There is gonna be a live. This one, crypto, gold versus silver, I think. Peter Schiff versus and Richard Hart debate Bitcoin and gold. This is not it. This is it. Richard, Peter, don't miss. Yeah. So I think this is today. Let me see here. Let me see if I can Google this videos. Yeah, it's probably this one, I don't know.
Hey, what's going on?
The ultimate cryptocurrency showdown, the raging debate between the vocal critic Peter Schiff and the self-professed cryptocurrency billionaire Richard Hart. I don't think he's self-professed, I think he's a billionaire, technically. So these two guys will have a debate tonight, I think in a couple of hours, so this is gonna be interesting to watch. I don't think we're gonna watch it on this channel. When is this live? This is live in a couple of hours, so you know it's gonna be very interesting watch. Capitulation also in play any moment today, tomorrow, this week, month, year. Yeah, I mean, capitulation could have. Michael Altcoin, hit like and subscribe. Ah, look at that, Michael Altcoin is back in the chat. Yeah, capitulation. I was thinking about capitulation, guys. You know, and everybody is expecting capitulation. Everybody is expecting that moment when everybody says, "F this, I'm gonna do something else." But you know, the question is, will there be actually any capitulation? You know, will there be capitulation, or will there be like only just a boredom, and then we continue going towards the upside? Good morning. Are we going to zero again? Yeah, we're going to zero every time. I think we are in for a sideways crab market until April. Richard is cruelly realistic. I will watch. Yeah, definitely watch this one over here. I like the guy. Yeah, you know, I'm not gonna say anything, but you know, I like the guy. I like this guy. I like even Peter Schiff. I think Peter Schiff is a very smart guy. I know he's shilling here, you know, his gold, but his son has Bitcoin, you know, so there is a thing about that. So I don't think he's, you know, I don't think he's what am I gonna call it? His you know, persona about, you know, oh, gold is so much better than Bitcoin. I think he's just using that to, you know, promote himself, and he's doing it very well. So you know, both guys are really intelligent. Really, it could be a very good debate between the two guys. So you know, I'm willing to watch it and see what they say. So definitely watch this today. This is in a couple of hours, I think. Yeah, a couple of hours. It was 5, 3, 2. Yeah, it's in couple. It's 1 to couple of more hours, and it's gonna be very interesting. But BTC do always different as expected. Yeah, so that's why I'm saying, like, everybody expecting some kind of capitulation phase, but I'm not expecting. I think we can actually, you know, survive this without capitulation, because what everybody is expecting, I'm gonna show you what everybody is expecting, at least with you know, TA guys. What are TA guys expecting? TA guys are expecting this 200 moving average on the weekly time frame, right? So let me show you down here. This line down here weekly. Let's go to the BLX. So you can see here this 200 moving average on the chart. This has been previously always the bottom, right? The bottom. Where is it? Where is my line? Bottom, yeah, bottom, right? So we are expecting go down there to some kind of 22,000, and that would be the bottom, right? That would be capitulation period, like call it capitulation. You can see here the sideways, and you know, you have this capitulation move. But does this have to happen every single time? Do we have to have every single time capitulation period down to 200 moving average on the weekly time frame? That's the question, you know. And I'm asking myself, like, everybody is expecting that, everybody is looking at this, and it is definitely looking like it's gonna do this towards downside, and we're gonna have some kind of capitulation area, and this is still in play. Capitulation is still in play, but I'm asking myself, maybe, just maybe, for some reason, some unknown reason, we don't have capitulation phase. Maybe just have this, you know, this move up here and then continue towards upside. Now that is also a possibility. What's up, Decentraplan? How you doing, man? How you doing? So you know, capitulation phase, like, it can happen. It doesn't have to happen, but it can happen. Would be good to reset weekly and monthly RSI. I don't know, man. Weekly RSI is so low right now. I'm gonna show you down here. I mean, weekly RSI is technically very low. We can go lower, but I'm like down here at exactly down here, or you can see here we came to some kind of 37 RSI on the weekly time frame, and you can see here historically these are capitulation areas. These are capitulation areas. So if we do go below 37 or something like that, that's capitulation area. That's why we're saying, like, everybody is expecting this capitulation. But you know, maybe capitulation never comes. Maybe the capitulation never comes, because technically this is low enough. You know, this is low enough. I think too much big buyers now, institutions, a lot of buy pressure, 30k. I mean, what are people gonna do with the money in stocks? That's what I'm asking myself. What you know, stocks are crashing like crazy. So what are people gonna do in stocks? You can see here we have already been drawing this, you know, worst case scenario. But you know, there have been some kind of move towards the upside. We broke that 1-2 test, you know, failed that. We call this a top. Right now going down below these levels down here. Definitely, you know, markets are definitely crashing. Doesn't matter how you twist and turn this around. Let's see this on the monthly time frame, because it's interesting to look at a monthly. Yeah, monthly also looks like it's yeah, breaking everything. Yeah, right now, if this technically on the monthly time frame, we are not still crashing yet, so we still need what's that? Today's 23rd, so we still have something like 1, 2, 3, 4, only 5 days left. 5 days left. So in 5 days, if we close below down here, below these lines down here, I would call that, you know, already crashing towards the downside, right? So yeah, technically, yeah, I mean, if you close down here on the monthly time frame, you are technically crashing towards the downside. So markets are crashing. So question is, what are people gonna do with all the money? What are, I mean, if you had your money in the stock market, you want to pull it out, you don't want to put it in banks. What are you gonna do with your money? Like, you got a couple of right now, you got a couple of you know, a couple of options. One of the options is gold. Gold is breaking towards the upside. This is monthly time frame of gold, but you can see here on the weekly time frame, oh, looks very nice so far. You know, it pumped really hard, consolidating right now, continuing this move towards the upside. This move towards the upside, the target's around 2150 or something like that. So gold right now is option for money from the stock market. I think that's why the gold is going towards upside right now because people are pulling money out of the stock market, and I want to put it into something that's going towards upside, right? Hedge against you know, inflation, hedge against everything, right? So gold might be one of these things, right? Other things might be, you know, some bonds or something like that. I don't know how that is gonna work because I am not following that much, but you know, gold is one of these things. And my idea about Bitcoin is that it might do the same thing as gold, although it does look bad right now. We already had you know, big corrections in the market. This was like 50% correction one time. This is also 52% like correction second time. So 2 times we had a correction of 50%. So technically, yeah, we still expecting this move towards downside, this capitulation phase. But what if that never comes? Because right now the market, you know, stock market is crashing. Maybe people will start looking at Bitcoin as some kind of a hedge against the stock market, and maybe if this starts going towards the upside while, you know, stock markets goes on the downside, that might, you know, move the money into Bitcoin and it might propel Bitcoin towards the upside. So that's what I'm hoping for right now, that we do not get any of this capitulation phase that everybody expecting, because it would be a good thing. Because if you do get capitulation phase, then you know, you can expect some kind of sideways movement, and then you know, another 1 or 2 years of the, you know, boring market and down movement. But right now it does look like you know, it might do that. Now unfortunately, everything I said today in the video goes out of the window, because we had this move above this trend line up here, right? That was the trend line. We had a move above the trend line, and I said, you know, best case scenario, we, you know, somehow close above the 39,000. Unfortunately, we didn't do that. Right back below the line, you can see here, and as soon as that happened, we continue dumping on downside. Now if you pull out some moving averages up here, you see 10 and 20 moving average. We are below 10 and 20 moving average. Still got 37 minutes left, but if you start closing below these levels down here, I would expect this to continue on the downside again. Unfortunately, dump city. So we're gonna see how this actually plays out. By the way, guys, TI Fans Club, what do you want to see? I'm gonna look at anything. I know the central plan want me to look at you know, Cardano, so let's look at Cardano. By the way, Luna did insanely good. I don't know why Luna is doing insanely. I also noticed that Luna is doing insanely good previously. You can see here on daily on 200 moving average, bouncing on 200 moving average up here. But it's right now, I think it's at some kind of top up here, 50 moving average, 100 moving average. You can see here getting resisted at these moving averages on top up here. So you're gonna see if it can manage to actually break. This is Luna right now, 12% up. Unfortunately, I don't think it can go anymore today. So we're gonna see that. Cardano, let's check out Cardano, because it's been a long time since we've been looking at Cardano. So we're looking at Cardano, something like this, some kind of falling wedge or something like that. Unfortunately, if we fall out of this falling wedge to downside, that's capitulation phase, right? And we have also been, let's just clean up everything on Cardano and put it on the weekly time frame up here, and see that you know, the bottom level was down here. You can see here previous week we managed to actually close below that. Right now we are even below the 200 moving average, so technically we are dropping like a brick right now. There is also this previous all-time high up here that we must take into account. This is a very important resistance level or support level right now, that we are above it. But if you're on the downside, if you start going on the downside, we might, this is the 0.38, very important level. You can see down here as well. So 36, 38, give or take, these are important levels. But one of the more important levels is 0.49. Technically, you can say this 0.5. Yeah, give or take 0.5. So you can see here that between these two levels up here, there is very little trading. So right now, if we start technically going below here, I'm looking at 0.5. That's a 50% drop or something like that on Cardano. Unfortunately, yeah, 44% drop. I don't know how this is actually gonna play out. Let's look at a monthly time frame, see if we get anything. We are up here something at 72 that might hold us. You can see here that we are falling below the 20 moving average on the monthly time frame. Not very good, but we got a 50 moving average down here at 0.48. So technically, just by looking at these levels up here, I don't think we're gonna fall below 34, 36, 38. I don't think we're gonna fall through these levels. I think 45, 50, 0405 is a pretty decent support on the way down, because of 50 moving average on the monthly and the 200 moving average on the weekly time frame. So these two moving averages up here are very, very important level. This 0.7, I think this is some kind of hoping, because this is the monthly previous all-time high. You can see down here, that's monthly previous all-time high 0.7. So Cardano right now 0.7. It can stop, it can get some kind of bounce, but we'll see that. The best reason why we are not supposed to drop just down straight down here is extensions. I think, let me see extensions up here. Technical extensions are not that extended. 10 moving average is right over here. I mean, we can still do something like this and then go on the downside. I'm not quite sure how this is gonna play out. The question is this a falling wedge or not? So let's try to draw some nice lines up here, see if this is, I've seen better lines. I gotta admit, I've seen better lines, but it's decent enough. You can see here. So is this some kind of falling wedge? And you can see this falling wedge can technically go to the 0.72 line and then bounce towards the upside, because that's support. Now if you for whatever reason just bounce over here, that's gonna be good, but this is the best pattern I can draw on Cardano right now. I don't see anything else beside this. And the problem with this, this bottom support line is pretty legit. Dollar. It is very good. The problem is this upper line that I'm not very fan of, unfortunately. Maybe it should be something like this up here, and then you get this falling wedge, but this is just cruel. This is just terrible falling wedge. I don't know how to explain this, but sometimes when you see these kind of falling wedges, you're just like, nah, this is not gonna happen. So this falling wedge is not it's not what I'm looking for. If there is anything like this, then it gotta be something like this, and then it's some kind of falling wedge. But I think it's hopium. It's hopium at best. Unfortunately, Cardano does not look that good. You can see down here. It did fail the support. So what do we have now? We have this trend line up here that's that's holding, and then we got a 0.77 down here at the bottom down. It's between 0.7 and 0.5. There is nothing, and there is nothing here. But these are the most important levels of support down here. Now, how far down we're gonna go? It kind of depends on Bitcoin, of course. It depends on me. Right now, Bitcoin is minus 1.23 levels. Let's go to this chart over here on Bitcoin, and you'll see that even Bitcoin. I don't know why I drew this. This is short term. Let's just remove this. This resistance line is pretty legit up here, and we failed to get back above that, unfortunately. Failed to get back above that, and right now going on the downside. So what are we looking at downside? We are looking at 36 again at 36, unfortunately, down here. So you're gonna see how this actually plays out. What's up, Hubert? How you doing, man? What more can we look at? Yeah, stock markets, of course, crashing on the downside. 4740, this is when we call the top on the stock market, right? It made another move towards the upside, but that's pretty much failed and went on the downside. So we managed to call very nice stop on the markets towards the upside. So markets are crashing, gold is going towards the upside. The question is, what will Bitcoin do? And Bitcoin looked like it's just correlated with the stock market, unfortunately. Can you find any sort of hopium on Zill? Any hopium? Let's do Zill, man. Let's do Zill. Long time since I did Zill, man. Zill was one of these big pumpers. Unfortunately, stuff happens. First time I had to find on my chart up here. There is Zill. Long time. You can see here that we had some nice lines up here on Zill. Unfortunately, everything got wrecked. You can see this triangle up here. This is fell out the triangle, retested the triangle, went down, broke the trend line, went down again. This was some kind of downtrend that broke it back down to the triangle, keeping some kind of levels down there. Now let's remove here because it's very hard to see. This looks like it's bleeding on the downside, unfortunately. Let's see on the weekly time frame what we have here. How much did Zil do? Zil actually did, I don't know how much, but Zil did extremely well. 11,273% towards the upside from the bottom to the top. Unfortunately, with these that's 112x. Unfortunately, when these kind of things happen, you know, stuff needs to consolidate and correct. Right now we are down something like 85%, so this should already give you some kind of hopium. I mean, and nothing goes up like 112% if it's a bad thing, right? I haven't seen much talk about Zil, but Zil was one of these coins that actually did very well in the bull run, right? And so I'm asking myself, why didn't anybody, you know, talk too much about Zilliqa, right? But you know, we already did 85% correction, so technically we don't need to do more. I mean, we can always do another 85% correction on downside. We can do 90 to these levels down here, right? We can even do 95% correction down here at you know, whatever that this is 0.01, but technically it's not needed. Technically we are already you know, down 85% from the start. Now the most interesting part over here is the downtrend. So I don't know how I'm gonna draw this downtrend down here. Let's see up here. I think it should be something. This is definitely one. Nah, it's not this one. Yeah, it is. Yeah, this is the big downtrend, and then you got this fast downtrend down here. Let's go something like this, I think. So you got a two downtrend that you have to break. Now, right now you are in this very fast downtrend that's you know, getting rejected by this trend line towards the downside. So at one point you have to break towards the upside. Let's see if there is any divergence up here. Well, technically there is slight divergence up here. Unfortunately, you can see here the price goes towards downside, and this actually goes a little bit towards up. I don't know if you can see it, but it goes a little bit towards the upside. So there is technically divergence. So, but you know, it's such a slight divergence that as if it just goes a little bit more down towards downside, you know, divergence will be correct. So you know, that's not very helpful. That's not very helpful. The momentum down here on the MACD is actually losing momentum, so that's a good thing. You know, we like that, you know, downtrend lose momentum. How is the volume? How is the volume up here? Technically volume is actually just going sideways, but you know, from over here, I don't know. Would you say this is going towards downside? A little bit, maybe. It's hard to say. Let's see on the daily time frame. Maybe the volume is going towards the downside. So you know, maybe volume is saying that you know this down move cannot continue forever. I think we need a move towards the upside soon. So maybe that's the hopium. Maybe that's the hopium that the volume is actually you know we have been going just on the downside, and the volume is actually, you know, losing pace. So maybe that's why. Maybe that's some kind of hopium that we eventually, you know, bounce towards the upside. Towards the upside. Let me just remove a little bit up here. Let me see volume on the monthly time frame. Well, technically, but this is monthly also below 10 and 20 moving average right up here, crashed big time on the downside, and unfortunately monthly does not look good. Weekly moving averages do not look good. Daily moving averages do not look good. Nothing looks good on right now, unfortunately. This was actually down here at 24 levels. This was down here at 27. Right now sitting at some kind of 30 levels. I don't see any divergence or anything like that up here. Do we see any kind of you know, pattern up here? Do you see any kind of pattern? Maybe it's some kind of channel. I think it's channel at best. I don't see anything else though. I don't see anything else. Maybe expanding channel. Nah, it's not expanding channel. This looks more like something like this down here. Maybe some kind of very weird falling wedge again. Maybe. Okay, let's pop some you know, support lines and stuff like that down here. I mean, I don't think we're gonna go all the way down to 0.02, but you know, it could happen. Because right now that's one of these monthly support lines down here. You can see here the weekly support lines down here as well, hitting these levels down here. This and everything else is actually technically right now broken, because this was at the bottom. Hold it, broke it, retest, going down. I think it's going down to 0.02 or something like that. I think it's going down to these levels down here, because between right now where we are right now and the support line down here, there is nothing down here beside that one trend line that we just saw up here, I think. Yeah, something like that, give or take. There is the trend line, so you know, on the way down, maybe the trend line that's actually, you know, some kind of falling wedge with a losing volume. Maybe this is, you know, maybe this is gonna, you know, help us bounce towards the upside, but we have to see. But yeah, sorry, the only thing that I have right now that might be some kind of hopium is maybe that the volume is you know, volume is going down while we are going down this very fast steep downtrend. Now these steep downtrends cannot go forever like this. They can do that in, you know, in stocks that have fundamentals, and that's when you have a stock that's something really weird with the stock, then you have, you know, price just going down. But over here, you know, this cannot continue forever. You get bounce eventually. Now the question is just how much more towards downside. We saw that Cardano could do another 40% towards downside. You can see also here, you know, we can have another, you know, 40% downside left towards downside. So, you know, maybe this capitulation phase that we talked about, maybe that's gonna happen eventually. Maybe that's gonna happen. We'll see that. But you know, how's Bitcoin right now? 144. Let's go to the 4-hourly time frames on Bitcoin and see how this actually looks. 1 hourly. 1 hourly is back below the 50 moving average, below all the moving averages. Does not look that good, guys. Does not look that good. 23 minutes left, you know, to hold this 10-20 moving average. So we're gonna see how this actually plays out. No worries, Martin. No worries, Martin. What model we are reaching? So there was this dev T somebody told me about the Horizon token. And we said that it has some kind of, you know, triangle. If it breaks, it might be good. You can see it broke. Right now it's holding this, you know, on the downside. I checked this on Bybit, and the, you know, the buying volume was so low and the selling volume was so high that I was like, oh man, this, I mean, the liquidity to exit the trade, if you buy anything, the liquidity to exit is extremely low, so it's gonna be very, very hard to exit this. So, you know, so I understand that, you know, big money do not, you know, trade stuff that they cannot exit, right? I mean, there is a lot of volume coming in here and stuff like that, and we did break towards the upside up here, but unfortunately right back down again on the depth. So I don't know what this depth thing is, but there is, at least on Bybit, there is no liquidity for this. I don't know how it's in Uniswap and stuff like that. I don't know how it's in Uniswap. I think I saw another coin, Rubik, Repetitor. Rubik unfortunately also goes, is hugging this bottom support line. So I'm thinking it can always do this. So this is not it. Didn't I see one more coin that was actually looking good? I think I saw one more coin that was actually looking good. Let's check a lot of coins up here. Sorry about that. SLP did like 20% today, so let's check out SLP for a while. We've been following SLP for a long time. Up here, I remember talking about, I mean, if it goes down, it's gonna be, you know, be terrible, and you can see what happened. 300 something percent, 370% towards the upside, 4x towards the upside, 5x towards the upside from the bottom to the upside. Big move towards the upside. Unfortunately, you know, that cat bounce right back below 10 moving average. Right now cannot even get back above that, even with a 20% move towards the upside. You can see here it got support on the 50 moving average, back to the 10 and 20 moving average. You cannot get above that. So I think this was this move was expected because it was so low. This is so low, but this is, I think, SLP, you know, love potion, whatever it's called, slow love potion. It's inflationary coin, so it cannot just go up. I mean, the tokenomics of this coin are not good, so that's why it's bleeding so heavily on the downside. But you know, volatility is definitely there. So for everybody trading this, you know, volatility on SLP is huge right now. SLP. Let's see if we can draw some nice lines on SLP up here. So yeah, so it did manage to bounce above this up here. So if it goes even, if it goes lower, then it's back below the line and it's bad, right? So it cannot do that. It cannot do that. Would I put it up here? I don't know. Would I put up here? No, maybe up here. This was the first, then it went down, down, down. Right now it's getting back above this one over here, but you know, we'll see if it can manage to bounce up here to the previous lineup to the top, or if it goes down. Now if it just goes a little bit more down, and maybe even to 50 moving average, even below the 50 moving, yeah, I think it's done. It's gonna continue on the downside back to the, you know, previous lows and stuff like that. But if it managed to, you know, bounce up here above this you know, previous high up here, I think it just might, you know, retest this trend line up here, this triangle that it had. So you're gonna see how that but you know, SLP is not something you wanna invest heavily in, because it is in a inflationary, like you know, people are grinding it in the XC infinity, at least from what I heard. So you know, it's not something, you know, people wanna, you know, look at that much. DXY, one of the things that we have been looking, you know, a long time ago. Let's go to the weekly time frame, because we are only looking on DXY on the weekly time frame. This is, you know, inflation versus deflation, at least from what you know, people have told me. Towards the upside, deflation; towards downside, sorry, upside deflation, downside inflation. Upside deflation, downside inflation. I think I said it correctly the first 2 times. So you can see here we had this, you know, inverse head and shoulders, bounced, went to the target. Actually, this over here was 97.4 was actually a target, but we changed to 96.7 for whatever reason, because we hit that target. We went down to the 20 moving average, up, you can see to the first target 97.4, and right down. This engulfing, bearish engulfing candle on the move towards the upside. There was also, I think, divergence up here. Let's see up here, is there divergence? Yeah, there is divergence up here, so that's why we went right back down again. So there was divergence up here on the RSI, right back down again. But you know, you can see that we are still holding this 10 and 20 moving average up here. So the question is this gonna, you know, just, you know, drop on downside, which I think should drop on the downside. That means if we're going towards inflation, at least you know, the markets, how the markets are looking right now, this looks like it will be inflation on the downside, because these moves, I explained this before, but let me just say, when you have any kind of impulsive move towards the upside, then you go back and smack on the moving averages. Doesn't matter if that's 10, 20 moving, you smack on the moving averages, then you hug the moving averages, you smack and you hug the moving averages. Sometimes you try to go towards the upside, oftentimes you fall down after that, if you fail to, you know, bounce out to the moving average. So we had an extension, we had a smack, we are having hug right now, and the most probable scenario right now down here is falling through this 720 moving average, maybe all the way down to the start down here at 93. Now what these numbers are telling us, I have absolutely no clue, beside, you know, up is deflation, down is deflation. So we're gonna see how this actually plays out eventually. But this 50 and 100 moving average, that might give us some kind of, you know, support on the downside. But people are saying that this is inversely correlated, so if we do go down, you know, Bitcoin might go up. That's the whole thing about this, right? So when this goes towards downside, Bitcoin goes towards the upside. When this goes towards the upside, Bitcoin goes towards the downside. So this is actually quite good. You know, indicator right now that Bitcoin might do very nicely. If this falls on the downside. Now if we break the 10 and 20 moving average down here, if we break this on the downside, we might see a tumble down towards the 93 levels down here. If that happens, that might, you know, project Bitcoin towards the upside. That's why I'm not that very bearish on Bitcoin yet. You know, and that's why I'm saying this capitulation phase that, you know, might not even come. Although everything looks bad, everything looks like it's waiting for the capitulation phase, I don't think that it has to come, you know. So if we fall on the downside down here, we might see a prolonged move, several weeks, maybe a month or 2 months time, towards downside, towards inflation down here, while Bitcoin actually, you know, performs very nicely towards the upside. So that's the question. Are we gonna do that? I hope you do that. But you know, we've been following DXY for a long time, and you know, down here it is. Let's try to, you know, correlate it with BTC USDT. Let's try to just see here new price scale, and let's change this price scale to, you know, to candles, and see how this actually looked on the candles up here. So you can see, let's just remove everything. Okay, let's just try. Okay, so, oh man, can I just do my stuff? Okay, so I don't know, does this look correlated to you guys? Does this look correlated to you? Like, people say that this is correlated, and technically if you look at it in a long time perspective, let's put this logarithmic as well. This is logarithmic, I think, yeah. So both are logarithmic. Okay, let's do it now. Let's do it now. Let's see if there is any kind of correlation up here between these two. You can see here now when we are having this bull. Okay, let's clean up everything right now. We're now having this bull market start up here. We are having this move towards downside. Right up here, we started going sideways. We went a little bit up. Went a little bit up here, but you know, we are still holding it. And we went down with the price as well, down, and then we had moves towards the upside with the price. So DXY was going towards the upside while the Bitcoin was going up again. But right up here, when we came to towards the top, this went kind of sideways and Bitcoin went down. So I don't know. It doesn't look that correlated to me, to be honest with you, man. So if this dumps on the downside, maybe Bitcoin is gonna continue dumping on the downside. So, you know, I'm not totally 100% on the bandwagon that DXY, dollar currency index, and Bitcoin are inversely correlated, unfortunately, as you just saw. But, you know, if people are saying it's gonna go down and Bitcoin is gonna go up, let's hope that's gonna be the case. But because just by looking at technically this chart up here, this looks like it's gonna drop on the downside. It looks like I feel it, because there is a, you know, the burns up here. We hit the resistance. We had this inverse head and shoulders played out. So this is played out. We had some, you know, so some kind of pullback down here right now. You know, going kind of into this move towards the downside. So you're gonna see how this plays out. But I think it's more probable towards downside than towards upside, at least. I think. Shiba Inu. Every time Shiba Inu does, every time you know, Bitcoin does nice moves, Shiba Inu does big moves. Unfortunately, Shiba Inu, you can see here it broke. Let me just clean up everything. Let me just clean up everything, so you can see this. I think it should be something like this down here. Let's put it down here. Yeah, something like this. So you can see this downtrend over here. Don't worry about this first downtrend. This got broken. So okay, it went something like this. Big lines. I think it went something like, give or take. Maybe down here. Doesn't really matter. Something like this. Okay, so you can see what happened here in the start. We went to the downside, we broke this and then continue following it, and then we had also this trend up here that we broke towards the upside. So right now we're going down to that trend. Maybe down here, you can see here went down to the trend, and then we try to go towards upside. So this looks like it's already correcting this downtrend. You can see this trend line up here right now. That's we create 1, 2, 3 touches. We came above that. Right now we are testing that as support. So Shiba Inu does look a little bit better. And I think I said this on Telegram chat or somewhere that I think Shiba Inu looks better than a lot of other coins. Unfortunately, it does look a lot better than other coins. I don't know why, but you know, on the daily time frame, we are still below the moving average. You can see here, even though we went up, we managed to crash back below the moving average. This is a rejection. So if we continue on the downside, we will see the break of this trend line down here. The break of this trend line. So if you continue on the downside, we will see that's actually when the bad stuff is going to happen to Shiba Inu. It's when we break this trend line on the downside. Let's see how the weekly looks like. Yeah, the weekly also, yeah. So still not, although it does look better than other stuff, it's not done yet. You can see here, you know, you just went too much on the downside, extend from the moving averages, so you had to have this move towards the upside. Move towards the upside only came up to 20 moving average, you know, not with the dollar on 20 moving average, got rejected by the 10 moving average, right now below 10 moving, so we are technically below 10 and 20 moving average on the weekly time frame. Technically still in a downtrend. Let's try to pull these nice lines up here. I think should go something like this up here. Maybe something like this. It's not out of the dump yet, you know, but there is always some kind of hopium that, you know, eventually it might do that. But I've seen other coins. I've seen definitely other coins that are looking like crap. I don't know what, but you know, this is polka starter. It's terrible. It looks terrible. Theta also looks like looks very bad on the downside. It's just getting wrecked. You know, I don't know, but we've been following, you know, for a while up here. It looks bad. The graph looks bad as well. Just kind of, you know, going to the downside. We can draw some nice lines up here on the graph. I think it's something like this up here, give or take. What should bottom look like? Expanding triangle maybe. Should be something like this up here. Maybe it's a channel. Maybe some kind of downtrend channel, so you gotta go down here. But it doesn't look that good. It doesn't look that good. Let me just see here. RSI is at 30-40 levels. Let me see weekly RSI. Weekly RSI 37. So it is at very low levels down here. So yeah, I'm wondering about this capitulation phase, guys. I'm wondering about this capitulation phase, not only on you know, on something, but on everything. Like 40% down, dump, and then, you know, rise to the good stuff. Rise to good stuff. So let's see what's there now. 20:51. We got 9 minutes left for the close. Now, if we close 4 hourly below 10 and 20 moving average, that's gonna be a very bad sign. So we got 9 minutes left. Let's see how this actually plays out. Now, since Richard Hart is gonna talk with, you know, Peter Schiff, so let's check out Hex right now. A little bit hard to see. I've got too many lines up here, but you know, basically it is some kind of big triangle up here right now, coming to this bottom support here at 0.40. Now if we fail 0.40 on the downside, we might have in you know, bigger move, you know, capitulation phase on the Hex on the downside as well. Hex did, if you look Hex without, you know, looking at Hex, if you look at this, you know, just looking at the regular chart, you see that, you know, it just went parabolic sideways and then correction down. First move correction down. If you go below these levels down here, you get into some kind of, you know, capitulation phase, and after that you can actually go towards the upside. So I don't believe right now that this I mean, it can hold just like everything else, of course, but you know, probability right now after this, you know, big huge extreme move towards the upside, probability that we go below 0.1 or something like that is still there right now, and getting this capitulation phase on everything. Antonius Lasut, can you check Reef quickly whether it has a chance to recover? Reef, I can tell you right now that it doesn't have any. I mean, it is following Bitcoin to the dollar, unfortunately. So you can see down up here we have been looking at Reef a lot previously. Let's just go on a weekly time frame. Oh man, this went all the way down to, you know, previous start down here, January bottom. This is worse. This is worse. Like if you look at Bitcoin, for example, right? If you look at Bitcoin, doesn't matter what kind of chart it is. If you look at Bitcoin, and let's look at a log chart. What you're gonna see that, you know, it had a 50% drop down, but you know, the January, where is September? January is actually up here. January is actually up here, so it is back where it was in January. Okay, I was thinking September down here, so you know, it still has a lot room to go. But you know, in January, it's back where it was in January. So Reef is technically back. Reef is also back in January as well. Let's go back to Reef. You can find the Reef again. There you go. Technically, this is Reef January, right? January. So exactly the same, does exactly the same that Bitcoin is doing right now. So if Bitcoin goes down, this will definitely go down as well. It is following Bitcoin, you know, almost to the dollar, but it is below the moving average. You can see here it is below the moving. I getting rejected. This first rejection, second rejection. Right now going below this this support down here. Right now. If we close on the weekly time frame, this on the downside down here, let me see, will there be any kind of divergence down here? No, there will be no divergence down here. It is close. I mean, it can be divergence. Nah, it's too close. I don't think there will be any divergence up here. If this goes on the downside, there will be no divergence, and this is gonna be a bad move towards the downside, because right now this is holding as a support. So if you go a little bit more towards the downside, you get this move towards the upside. That was, you know, a relief or a rally, if you want to call it right now, after, you know, 1 month on the dumping relief rally, and right now this continues on the downside. This continues on the downside, so it doesn't look all that well. Let's see down here if we can pull some. Yeah, so you got the resistance up here. This downtrend resistance, you can see here on the dollar at the resistance up there. I won't call this one, maybe some kind of expanding, but this is very, you know, very huge expansion. So this is not very helpful. This is not very helpful for us right now. Big resistance down there, got rejected by that as well. Now it looks very bad. Unfortunately, it looks very bad, but you know, it looks very bad, like you know, Bitcoin and stuff like that, right? So if this drops on the downside, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. 4 minutes left on Bitcoin. 4 hourly close. That's a very important close. Let's go to Bitcoin right now. Let's go to 4 hourly time frame. 10-20 moving average, closing below 10-20. There is, I don't think it can recover back from this right now. Right now, do we have any kind of divergence down here? There is slight divergence up here on the RSI, but I don't think it is gonna help, because you can just continue dumping without divergence. Let's go to the daily time frame, see what's happening on the daily time frame up here. We got a support down here at 37,000 levels. Bearish cross. Let's go to the weekly. Weekly is already below the 0 line down here. So yeah, but you can see here on the weekly time frame, nothing's gonna happen until we, you know, close below 36,000 on the weekly time frame. So that means that, you know, although we can have a dumpy dump and stuff like that, right? We still got something like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 3, 4 more days to go. So I think this might, you know, today. 2, 3, 4, yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5 days left. If you know, if you are gonna dump big time on the downside, I think it's gonna take a couple of days to get to 36,000, maybe even down here, and then move to a dumpy dump side, because the weekly time frame needs to break this slowdown here, right? So you have a move towards downside, you got this relief rally, got rejected, right back down again, going below 39,000, closing below down there, and then you know, you have to close below 36,000 down here. You have to close below 30. Once you close below 36,000, if there is no divergence and stuff like that, we might have some kind of small move towards the upside, and then, you know, big move on the downside again, unfortunately. But you know, I'm still giving it like something like a week left, and to see how this is actually gonna play out. I was a little bit, I think I was a little bit overly bullish today in today's Bitcoin video, because this move towards the upside I wasn't expecting it, to be honest with you. I was expecting this move towards the upside, I was expecting some kind of rejection here, arrow straight down, but you know, we went up to 39,000. Now we did get rejection after that, and right now right back down again. 1 minute 24 seconds. We are definitely gonna close below 10 and 20 moving average, and this might just continue dumping on the downside. Now I don't expect any kind of big dump or something like that right now. I know I said dump city in the title, but I don't think I'm not expecting any kind of, you know, huge dump on the downside or something like that right now. It might go a little bit down, but it needs to take its time. It needs to take its time, especially this resistance level and this support line is gonna hold. So I think, you know, we might see something like this, right? Maybe, who knows. Okay, so there is 1 minute left, 35 seconds left on the 4 hourly close. 1 hour. Let's see how 1 hour is gonna look bad. Also 1 hour, yeah, 1 hour also going below the support down here, which is actually quite bad. 23 seconds left, unless in 20 seconds just pumps towards the upside. I don't see this as a good move. It is a bad move, technically speaking, of course. 10 seconds left. Yeah, also this 4 hours is gonna close down here below without. There we go, we got to close. There is divergence, but you know, if it just continue dumping, there will be no divergence overall. So this next candle can erase the divergence. It might start going a little bit towards the upside, then get rejected, and then, you know, continue on the downside. So this is very normal move that it does. First you break certain levels of support, then on the next candle you go towards the upside, you test these levels, and if you fail that, then you continue going on the downside. So that might happen. So right now maybe you're gonna get some kind of relief rally to 10 or 20 moving average up here to maybe 38,000 levels, 38.2. You can see here maybe, and then after that continue on the downside. So unfortunately on the 4 hourly time frame this looks very bad right now, and a rejection is definitely right now confirmed. I think these are two candles up here on the 39,000 on the trend line below the 10-20 moving average. So what can save us up here? What can save us up here? The only thing, the way I see it, can save us some kind of bullish engulfing candle. Like this move towards downside needs to be you know, invalidated by a big huge bullish engulfing candle. If that happens, this might also be acting as some kind of spring towards the upside. That's like the very best case scenario that you can hope for. That means we gotta wait another 4 hours for the daily close, and if that would happen, if we get some kind of bullish engulfing candle up here, you know, that how far up do we have to have the bullish candle? Above 38.5. So that's 38.5, that's up here somewhere. All right, so you know, that would be very bullish. That would be very, because daily will also close up there. This just looks like just continue dumping on. Let's go to the 5-minute chart and see how this actually looks. This looks like a falling wedge. Now this is a legit falling wedge, so I think it might, I think this one might yeah, this looks like it's falling wedge. Let's see the divergence is on the 5-minute chart up here. Often you can see it on the 5-minute chart. So divergence, yeah, almost no divergence. And these are divergence correct. These are divergence corrected. So this is going to be very interesting. If we fold this on the downside, if we fall on the downside down here, it might just continue tumbling on the downside. But if we break this towards the upside, we might see a move, like we said, up to 38,000 or something like that. Top up here 38.9, 38.3, right? So that's gonna be interesting to see if we can, you know, if we can get out of this falling wedge towards the upside. We might see, you know, some highs up here. Just like we said, let me go. What am I doing? Let me go to the 4-hourly time frame. Like we said, this move might come back to 10 and 20 moving average. So that's what I'm looking for, at least right now, because you can see on the 5-minute chart you are creating this falling wedge right now. Falling wedge. So the question is, are we gonna right now go down here, get reject, you know, get support, and, you know, bam, get this move towards the upside. You know what we're gonna do now? We've been streaming for 52 minutes, so let's you know, let everybody, you know, chat last 5 minutes or something like that. Where do I do that? Here. Everybody, there we go. Everybody is free to chat. Ooh, that's a bad move. That's a bad move. Maybe I drew this. Maybe I drew this line a little bit. You know, maybe something like this. Maybe it's the blue line. Maybe it's the blue line that's gonna save us. Captain, hi Captain, how you doing? You've been watching? How was your day? It was okay. I went to IKEA, so it's good. 1 hour Ichimoku says short. I don't do Ichimoku Cloud, too much stuff. Hi Captain. Wish I could donate to be a member, but it's not allowed in my country. Ooh, what kind of country doesn't allow you to donate in on YouTube, man? Going nuclear on S&P 500 and Nasdaq breaking resistance for free falling. Let's go. Yeah, S&P 500 and Nasdaq doesn't look that good. Thanks, sir, on great info. Yeah, you're welcome. Unfortunately, we are breaking this this on the downside. Maybe it's gonna be, you know, maybe it's gonna be something like this. You know, there is always the spring. Pakistan. Oh man, I'm gonna give you a, you know, phone call to your Minister of Internal Affairs. And when did this stream start? 54 minutes ago. It's pepperoni, guys. Fake out, please. Maybe fake out. Sorry for caps. 338503. Unfortunately, please do. Hey, yours the only channel I've seen on 1 second time frame on. It was fascinating. Would it please be possible to see it again? Yeah, sure, man. 1 second for you, man. And 1 second for me, amigo. There we go. And you can, you know, when it comes to TA, you know, you can draw lines on the 1 second chart as well. You know, you break that, you go down. Targets runs down here. You can see here. Right now getting squished by these moving averages. You know, it works. Right now going down, so you know we're expecting this to move on the downside as well. Getting rejected down up here, and there we go. You know, TA works on all time frames, man. I'm going to join your sub on the bear market, man. I'm here since the very beginning. Keep up the good work. You were not late this time. Thanks, man. I love you the late and I love the work and service you do. Trade altcoins live. I'm taking trade with you. I'm not doing that, man. I did some bad calls before, you know, and you know it messes people up before because they believe you too much. They believe in too much, so, you know. Your beard looks bearish. Are you going to short it? Nice one. Okay, guys, I think we're gonna end the stream over here. Unfortunately, Dump City is happening. 4 hourly candle. You know, close below 10 and 20 moving average. Unfortunately, not a good sign. So we're gonna see how far down this goes. That said, there is, like we said in the start of the stream, there is the ultimate cryptocurrency showdown between the Peter Schiff and Richard Hart. So I don't know when this is. I think this is right now at 9 or 10 o'clock. You know, 1 more hour or something like that. Do watch this show, guys. Do watch this show. Because you know this guy is very interesting. This guy is very interesting. Whatever they say, it's gonna be very nice. You know, a very nice watch. So do check it out. Peter Schiff and Richard Hart. Don't miss the debate. Peter Schiff, yeah. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate everybody stopping by. You know, we're gonna do more TF Fans Club streams. So you know, there is that. Hello world. Hello. Okay, guys. Cheers. Take care. Bye bye.